Welcome to Accreditation Unlocked, the podcast where we decode the mysteries, challenges, and opportunities behind accreditation in education. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Clough, and whether you're a faculty member, administrator, or part of an accreditation support team, you're in the right place. Today's episode is one that many of you have been waiting for: building an accreditation calendar that actually works. It sounds simple, right? Just jot down the key dates and call it a day. But anyone who's gone through the accreditation process knows it's never easy. Without a solid, actionable, and realistic calendar, you're setting yourself and your team up for last-minute scrambles, missed deadlines, and ultimately a more stressful and less successful review process. So let's dive in. Why your accreditation calendar matters. Let's begin with the basics. Why is the accreditation calendar so critical? The accreditation process is not just about passing a review. It's about sustaining a culture of quality, improvement, and accountability. And while those words, quality, improvement, and accountability, can often feel abstract, they become real through systems. One of the most important systems is your calendar. An effective accreditation calendar aligns everyone's responsibilities and deadlines, reduces institutional risk by ensuring nothing falls through the cracks, builds a timeline that accommodates real life, including vacations, staff turnover, and competing institutional priorities, and establishes a culture of preparedness, not panic. The best part? Once you build it well the first time, it can become a long-term asset. You won't be reinventing the wheel every cycle. Start with the end in mind. One of Stephen Covey's habits of highly effective people is to start with the end in mind. That philosophy works perfectly here. The end, in accreditation, is your site visit or submission deadline. That's your North Star. Ask yourself, when is the next site visit or submission due? What is the format? Virtual, in-person, hybrid. What are the major deliverables? A self-study report, evidence documentation, compliance reports? Once you have the endpoint, work backwards to identify what needs to happen before that date and how much time each phase realistically takes. Some major milestones might include the final self-study draft complete, an internal review and approval, stakeholder review by faculty, board, or student input, first draft complete, evidence compilation and audit, survey data collection, policy review and updates, committee meeting schedules, or annual reporting if it's due this cycle. Match each of these to your timeline, and be generous with the time estimates. You'll thank yourself later. The 5 layers of a successful accreditation calendar. Now that we're thinking in reverse, let's talk about the 5 key layers that make an accreditation calendar actually work. Number 1, fixed deadlines. These are your non-negotiables. Site visits, submission deadlines, board meetings for final approval. These are all stakes in the ground. Anchor your calendar around these. Number 2, major deliverables. Build timelines for each major deliverable, including who owns it, when the draft is due, and when it will be reviewed. Don't forget dependencies. For example, you can't finalize a self-study if you haven't completed your data analysis. Number 3, internal review processes. Remember, nothing should go out the door without internal vetting. That means scheduled review meetings, draft circulation, and time for revisions. These are often underestimated, and they matter. Number 4, regular checkpoints. Set monthly or bi-monthly progress meetings. Think of these like mini deadlines to ensure momentum is sustained. Use them to review progress, identify roadblocks, adjust workload, and communicate changes. These checkpoints are your calendar's safety net. Number 5, communication and training. Building an effective calendar means building in time for onboarding and updates. That includes training new committee members, hosting town halls for updates, sending regular email reminders. Without communication, even the best calendars fall apart. Tools and platforms at work. Let's be honest, no one wants another spreadsheet, but also spreadsheets are still powerful. The trick is to use the tools that meet your team's workflow style. Here are a few platforms that have worked well for institutions we've supported. Google Sheets or Excel. They are great for accessibility and visibility. Use conditional formatting and data validation to avoid errors. Trello or Monday.com. These project management tools can break big deadlines into manageable tasks, assign owners, set due dates, and track progress visually. Shared calendars such as Google Calendar or Outlook are perfect for integrating key meetings, milestones, and review dates. Institutional portals. If your campus has a learning or document management system, use it. Store evidence, templates, and timelines in a shared space. The platform doesn't matter as much as consistency. Pick a system that your team will actually use and stick with it. Tips from the field. Now let's get practical. Over the years, we've worked with colleges, schools, and programs at all stages of accreditation readiness. Here are some hard-earned tips. Tip number 1, build in buffer time, then add more. If you think a task will take 2 weeks, assume it'll take 4. People get sick, data requests get delayed, meetings get rescheduled. Build in time for that. Tip number 2, assign a calendar champion. Don't just create a calendar and hope people will follow it. Designate someone, a compliance officer, accreditation liaison, or project coordinator who owns the calendar. Their job is to keep it updated, send reminders, and follow up on deadlines. Tip number 3, review and revise every semester or quarter. Calendars are living documents. Build in semester or quarterly reviews to add new tasks, adjust dates, and reflect on what's working or not. Tip number 4, celebrate milestones. It may sound cheesy, but celebrating progress boosts morale. When you submit a draft or complete an evidence review, acknowledge it. These are major accomplishments. Avoiding common pitfalls. Let's talk about what not to do, because even the best calendars can fail if certain pitfalls are ignored. Pitfall 1, overloading the last 6 months. Don't cram everything into the last half of the cycle. The final months should be for polishing and final review, not for building documents from scratch. Pitfall 2, forgetting to train new staff. Turnover is real. If someone critical leaves, who takes over? Build in documentation, onboarding materials, and redundancy whenever possible. Pitfall 3, treating the calendar as optional. If your calendar becomes nice to have instead of must follow, it loses value. Set the tone from leadership. Following the calendar is part of your institutional compliance culture. Pitfall 4, operating in silos. The calendar should be cross-departmental. Accreditation is not just an academic affair. It involves information technology, finance, student services, human resources, and more. Make sure all stakeholders have visibility. Sustaining the calendar between cycles. Here is a question that I get all the time. Once a site visit is over, do we just file the calendar away until the next cycle? Absolutely not. A smart accreditation calendar doesn't go dormant. It evolves into your compliance and continuous improvement calendar. Use it to schedule annual reporting, track assessment cycles, update strategic planning timelines, plan professional development related to standards, and prepare for mid-cycle or focused reports. Think of it like a garden. You don't stop tending to it after the harvest. You maintain it so it produces again next season. A calendar is a cultural tool. Let's zoom out for a minute. When you build and use your accreditation calendar consistently, you are doing more than meeting deadlines. You are building a culture of planning, transparency, accountability, and improvement. You're helping your institution move from being reactive to being proactive, from scrambling to strategizing. And that shift, more than any document or policy, is what makes accreditation truly meaningful. Thanks for joining me today on Accreditation Unlocked. If you found this episode helpful, I encourage you to subscribe, share it with your colleagues, and check out our website at Accreditation Collaborative for tools, templates, and consulting services. And remember, accreditation isn't just about passing a review. It's about building an institution you're proud of, one deadline at a time. Until next time, I'm Dr. Ken Clough. Stay prepared, stay aligned, and stay on track.